Hey everybody, and welcome back to Issue Crew Movie Reviews, the show where we review movies here on the Issue Crew channel. I am your host, Riely, joined by two co-hosts who I would say represent the exact opposite spectrums of how I could feel about a person. So first of all, we've got one of my best friends. You know, I've been working with this guy for a long time. I enjoy his presence every time we talk. A smile goes across my face. It's Mo Diggity, folks.
Hello, how you doing?
And on the other side, we have the most awful human being I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. The worst person I've ever known.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
No, I'm Kathy is who I meant. I believe Kathy's also in the room.
This podcast, everybody knows this podcast is bad. Get off your fat ass, Riely.
I am the real Trump, and this podcast is the best podcast to ever air in the United States of America. This podcast truly represents the American nation.
The Issue Crew, they're not bringing their best. They're murderers.
The Issue Crew is the best podcast out there. And this imposter trying to spread misinformation.
I'm sure some of them are good people.
God damn it. Hey everybody, we're here once again. Another bye week has passed, and it's time for
You said bye.
Haha, it's time for your Riely, Mo, and Kathy movie review, and Mo Diggity picked the movie today. So Mo Diggity, why don't you tell us what this movie is and give us a brief little paragraph synopsis about what it's about?
All right. Let me go ahead and get everything over here. This is The Dark Crystal. Now, I thought I had the IMDb already up, so here I go. All right, so it's made by two directors. Two of them I know that almost everyone knows, Jim Henson and Frank Oz. And Jim Henson,
I know
Frank
one
Oz,
of those people.
Oh, okay. Which one do you know?
Jim Henson, obviously. I'm not aware of Frank Oz.
All right, so if you ever seen a movie or anything with Muppets, you recognize that both these guys' handiwork like immediately.
So Frank is like Jim Henson's right-hand man. He worked on all the Muppet stuff too.
Yeah. Like usually, he's kind of like you know how there's Buzz Aldrin and who was the other one that went on the moon? Two astronauts. Hold on one second. Yeah, it's Buzz Aldrin and who? Neil Armstrong. So arguably,
no, that's not the other one.
No. Oh
no, the other one is called Gorbachev.
Oh, shut the hell up! You fucking make me like stop and fucking like second guess myself.
Gorbachev.
All right, so there's Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, right? Now, whatever circle that you run into, you can sort of like compare one for the other. Like some people would say that Jim Henson is Buzz Aldrin and Frank Oz is Neil Armstrong. But whatever, that's not really a comparison. I feel like elaborating on too much. But anyway,
I'm surprised they didn't bring that up in the epic rap battle of history. I mean, if you'll remember, if you'll remember the epic rap battles of history lore, folks at home, there was the Jim Henson disses Stan Lee by saying that all he did was sign his name on Jack Kirby's comic books. I'm surprised.
I emphatically disagree with that.
I'm surprised that Stan Lee did not counter by bringing up Frank Oz and his contribution to the Muppet nation.
Oh yeah. Like if you really want to like if you were ever a fan of both of them, if you loved old Star Wars, if you loved the Muppets and stuff like that, or this movie, The Dark Crystal, you would see the comparison. It's essentially kind of 50-50 between the greatness between these two men here, right? It's hard to like pick one over the other. you know. But
Yeah, I
yada
get you.
yada. So anyway, let me go ahead. It's a movie about Jen, a Gelfling, and Kira, another Gelfling, and basically the Skeksis and the wise men, the keeper of secrets. They're sort of like two halves of the same coin, right? And there was a great sundering 1,000 years ago in their world, and it's up to Jen, the Jim Henson, who plays him, to make the Dark Crystal whole again and undo the catastrophe, the cataclysm, if you will, that was wrought upon their world 1,000 years ago.
So I saw that in the credits real quick, that Jen was played by Jim Henson. Now, was Jim Henson just puppeteering him, or was he also doing the voice?
I can probably this is a little bit complicated because usually it's kind of a team of puppeteers. Now, there's going to be like some puppeteering scenes where you'll see if it's like just like a real close up shot of the Muppet. It'll probably be like Jim probably handling his own puppet, right? But once you start like getting into like the more complicated shots, you can tell like if you're super into puppeteering and all that, you can tell when there's like multiple people sort of like doing more work, right? And then of course you see like the actor, probably like a child or something like that, or maybe it was like a teenager, because they'll do some like far away shots of like Jen running and stuff and on the scenes, like the beginning when you get introduced to Jen's character, you can see that someone is in sort of a Jen costume and they're running because, you know, puppeteering magic, for lack of a better term, has sort of, I mean, it's come a long way, but also hasn't come a long way at the same time. You have to work with within the limitations of what you got. So essentially, yeah, it's probably Jim and like, you know, Frank Oz and stuff like that, who are I believe it's I think they have like performer uh some of them do the voices, some of them do the it's kind of complicated. There's a long freaking list of voices and performers because there's so many people involved in this movie, and it's a fantastic movie.
I
It's
think
so
you've
great.
addressed every possible aspect of my question except the aspect that I was looking for. You went to all the details of the puppeteering when the actual information I was trying to glean is that Jim Henson's voice coming out of that puppet?
Well, I think so. I'm having trouble actually finding whether or not. I mean, it says in the credits that it's actually him. So,
Well, it says,
no,
like, performed
no.
by
I
Jim
got
Henson.
it.
Okay.
Stephen Garlick was
Okay.
Jen's voice, and Lisa Maxwell was Kira's voice.
I figured, yeah, I
Kira,
figured.
how about that?
Haha, like the kingdom. That's the podcast
Yes.
we do.
Dun, 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 dun.
But folks, let me share. No, me first, Kathy. Shut up. Let me let me share.
Why do you hate me today?
I've hated you for much longer than today, Kathy. So, my initial thoughts that I would like to share on this film. So, I would like to lead visually and technically. Amazing. I am blown away by the technical mastery of this film, the visuals of this film. I love the style. There's a lot of effort put into those puppets and how they're performed. The environments are cool. That this movie looks and is technically amazing.
Yeah, if you're looking for like a cornucopia, a plethora, if you will, of like of basic effects and stuff of oh fuck man, the practical effects. There we go. This is everything that 1982 could possibly give you, and they worked on this movie for like a few years. It's not specifically saying exactly how long it was, but it's quoted in saying a few years because it took a while. So This is something that the late 70s and very, very infant early 80s came to give us, and it's fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah, so a technical mastery of its time. Now that being said, holy shit, this movie was fucking boring. Oh my god.
It's not so boring, but you know, you have
Holy
to like
shit, Riely.
you have to realize that this is before like kids were like over medicated and ADHD was a more
No.
prevalent thing. I'm sorry, but like kids had better attention spans back then.
No, this
You
movie is
couldn't
just
make them
fucking boring as hell.
Thank
like,
you,
fuck off.
Jesse.
It's not
Thank
boring
you.
as hell. It's fucking cool. You just have to
It's
be
cool.
quiet and pay attention. That's all you have to do.
It is cool, but like, oh my god, do we really need like a 50-minute scene of the Skeksis eating shit?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because I fucking knew. I made mental notes about the scenes that I knew that you and Riely would bitch about. This was one of them. I'll tell you why.
This is all
Because
premeditated. He knew
Yeah,
exactly what we were gonna say.
yeah, because
He's 10 steps ahead of us at all times.
and I don't want to spoil the other ones that I know that you're going to bitch about, so I'm going to keep them in the back burner for a little bit. But the reason why you have the oh fuck, what were they called, the scientists or the what the hell are they called, the mystics, I guess. I think that the mystics, and they're called the mystics.
Fraggles, the really old Fraggles.
The extremely old Fraggles. The reason why you have that is because you look at the mystics and then you look at the Skeksis. And just like the fucking movie that we did, the last one, fucking Kingdom.
Prince of Egypt.
Prince of Egypt, thank you. There's a lot of duality of man. Like it's like good. It's being modest, being modest versus being excessive. Gluttony versus preserving, conservation, conservatism, if you will. You're supposed to fucking see that. No, conserving. No, not in political sense. In conserving.
Literal
you know what I mean?
conservatism.
It's like conservatism in the idea of like the non-political form of what conserving means.
I would also like to say I'm glad that Jason or Andrew aren't here because they would have like grown, because I ruined the phrase duality of man for those two and everybody else who had the displeasure of playing Quiplash with me.
Well, this is all before like the concept of duality and stuff was just done into the fucking ground, right?
Well, no, it's because whenever there was a Quiplash round and the vote was a tie, I would say the duality of man, and everybody got really sick of it really fast.
But you're supposed to sort of compare these two species, the Skeksis and the fucking mystics, right? Which I was weirded out by this because I thought that that the Skeksis were like crows. They always look like bird-shaped creatures to me. And the mystics were like the lizard people, the ancient lizards, because that made sense to me as a kid. Like, okay, yeah, lizards are super, super ancient. They're fucking dinosaurs, man. And all that.
The
so like
Mystics
it
are
would
the
make
Fraggles, and the Skeksis are like Big Bird if he was evil and gross.
Yeah, and I think maybe the lizard knock was just what's her name? Just where the fuck? I think it's Agura. I think that was just her fucking like taking a stab. Taking a stab at them, right? Because they still look like fucking old ass disgusting crows, buzzards, carrion birds,
I legitimately think they look like what would happen if a Fraggle got really old. Like, that's not a joke. Like, that's they give me strong Fraggle vibes.
I thought that was the pod the pod people.
Those guys just look terrifying.
Dude, there's podlings. There we go. There's a lot of stuff that's fucking nightmare fuel for me as a kid. Like the draining of the essence and all that. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, that was pretty
Because
fucking scary. That was pretty
yeah,
fucking...
yeah,
The
yeah.
way the
So
eyes changed as they sucked the
Mhm.
life out of that podling, that was fucking crazy.
yeah, you look at scenes like that in this movie, and you'll see like there had been an ungodly amount of work put in just to make the fucking bladders that like pump out the liquid out of the Muppet, excuse me, just to get an accurate scene, right? And I bet they all went like, God, this looks like shit. But like as a kid, even now, I think it fucking holds up.
I mean,
I
So
mean,
anyway,
yeah,
I'm ranting. Kathy, go ahead.
Yeah, Kathy hasn't talked a lot. We'll let her speak. We'll let her speak.
okay, so like I want to reiterate what Riley said. Um, you know, there's like the crow people and then the tail people. I don't remember their names. The Skeksis, that's crow people's name. But like,
And the Mystics are the other ones.
holy shit. I'm going to complain about every single damn scene that I want to complain about, all right?
I figured
And
that
Mo
like
knows
you
all
of all
of them already.
I figured that you of all people would have a lot less to complain about. I figured that Riley was going to be the one
I
that
don't
put on
have a
the
lot of
complaining
specific
pants.
scenes to complain about because it all ran together as one boring mishmash of shit I would rather be
Oh,
watching anything
fuck
else.
off! It's not boring. It's all right. Well, let me. All right, go ahead, Kathy.
Okay, does Kira really need to like fucking stop and talk to every damn animal that there is? Do
Well,
we need like
yes.
I think it was important every time she did it. That's a weird complaint.
Yeah, there's a point. Like even though it's like a minute point, and it's not much, but you know, it's to sort of highlight her gift. She has the gift of talking to the wildlife, to nature. I mean, this was made by hippies. You have to remember that.
yeah, it feels like it.
True.
There's a lot of this is the 70s and this is how we think in this movie because the 80s were barely a concept. Like in 82 everyone was starting to watch fucking Black Flag and Dead Kennedys and shit. Reagan hasn't even is about to become a thing. So, you know, this is right before Reagan America and the Reagan world and the fall of the wall and fall of the Soviet Union and stuff.
I think my main complaint, because I don't have any specific really scenes to share. I know Kathy has a list, and I'll let her get back to it in a second. But just in general, Kathy,
Yeah.
whatever you're like touching or moving around, it's making a noise. Shit was I saying? So I think the thing about it is the movie didn't do anything to like invest me into the story I was watching. Like it didn't really spend any time trying to make me like any of the characters. It didn't really do anything that made me feel anything about what was happening.
I mean, like how can you possibly think that? Fucking Jen's on a quest. Like the whole premise of the movie
But he's
is this
a
dude's on a
boring
quest.
little boy. He has no fucking inflection. He says
Because
everything
he's
in the
extremely-
same fucking emotional tone.
Well,
What can
okay,
you-
yeah. I mean,
What
you
can
got
you
that,
tell
but
me-
he's extremely young though, and like it's supposed to be all. It's supposed to highlight the ignorance of youth and like coming up. It's
The
like his
only-
little coming of age, like fantasy
The
stuff.
Mo.
only character that did anything to like remotely make me like them is like Kira, and even then, it's just that like she's the best I can pick out of all the fucking boringness.
I genuinely liked the one crow that got exiled more than the main character because
Oh,
the main
yeah.
character
I cannot. Yeah, dude. I knew that you guys are. I figured that you guys are going to be pissed about that because he does that.
I actually was
amount.
pissed about that. Actually,
Okay,
that
I'll
fucking annoyed
say-
the shit out of me.
Even as a kid, I thought that was a little excessive, but you know, he's supposed to like highlight what manipulation, what a bad guy is. Like you know, he's a bad guy, and you know that you're just waiting for him to make his fucking move. And when he does, you're like, I fucking knew it because he went all
No,
the
actually,
fucking time.
I knew he was
No,
back.
actually, fuck that. Fuck that. I liked it every time he went. Hmm.
And when they ripped his clothes off after his robes off and disgraced him, I thought
Yeah,
that I didn't understand that when I was a kid, but I get it now, and it's really really cool how their sort of like a system sort of worked, and they barely fought. They just fucking hack out a fucking rock, and whoever can fucking hack off a piece of the rock becomes the new emperor.
Yeah, I really liked the scene where they removed his clothes.
He's just screaming like a fucking bloody maniac.
He just fucking.
I fucking love that.
I would like
They
to bring
just-
up the.
I
Oh,
like
go
the
ahead,
fact that he immediately is allowed to pick up his clothes again and puts them back on. So there is no fucking reason to do that.
Well, no, not really. He picks up his clothes, but they're like torn into tatters. And as you see throughout the movie, though, he's like his movie, throughout the movie. Sorry, as you see him walking, you'll see him in like some good-looking clothing. But as the movie goes on, you'll see that the rags start to show a whole lot. And I thought that was a fun little note that I never picked up as a kid.
Wasn't there like some sort of royal robe that he did not get back until he delivered them the
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. He got his like official robe and kind of his place. He was undisgraced and basically unexiled when he brought Kira, the other Gelfling, back to them.
Real quick, I would like to mention the one scene that just made me fucking bust out in laughter uncontrollably. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Is when the evil, like, I guess Skeksis scientist, for lack of a better term, who was sucking out all the life essence.
Yeah. That's he's credited as scientist.
When he dies, and then because the mystics and the Skeksis are connected, the mystic connected to him dies.
Yeah.
And the mystic just disappears. All the other mystics like turn around, but then they just turn
Okay,
back
like
around
dead ass fucking stop right in their tracks. Go, oh, fucking Bob's dead. Oh, back to the castle. Yeah, I fucking
Here we
like that was
go,
fucking great.
Gotta keep going.
And like it was really cool up until that one scene where I think Kira or Jen cut the other one's hands. He goes, "Ah, my hands." Like that's when you find out. Oh, why does he feel that? Oh, wow. You know, like this movie, like it really is kind of cool. I kind of credit that and Legend and a bunch of other movies back in those days that like sort of like introduced me and exposed me to these well, what was to me higher concepts. Not that I used the term higher concept. I was like, whoa, that's kind of like I'm like 7 and this is deep.
That was the one moment where I was like, oh, like the one moment where the plot like interested me was when that happened, and I was like, wait, oh shit, this has been the thing the whole time because of the emperor and the fucking ancient mystic man. This has been the thing all along, but they're showing us it here now to confirm for us that was the case. Even though they alluded to it earlier, because the exact same scenario was occurring in both communities. It was clever. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, this movie is a slow burn, and yeah, it is a little bit boring, but do keep in mind, like I said, this is like primarily a movie kind of for children, and it was made specifically kind of for kids because Jim Henson and Frank Oz and like the whole crew that worked on this movie worked on like Sesame Street and the Muppets.
I would have been crawling under the fucking movie theater seats if I saw this as a kid. This is boring as hell.
You wouldn't have fucking thought that. You would have been like, "Oh,
Yes,
this is cool." I know you wouldn't.
Yes.
I think you guys are thinking with adult minds and having your adult glasses.
I remember
on
being
for
a
this.
kid, and I remember when shit was boring, I would turn it off.
Yeah, I remember when I was a fucking kid, I would have just walked out.
Yeah. This is literally, I feel the same way about how boring this movie was than how I felt how boring Thor 2 was. And you know what I did when I was a kid and I went to see Thor 2? me and my grandma left the theater in the middle of the movie and snuck into Kung Fu Panda 2. So the boring movies, don't like them, never have.
Thor 2, I don't think was boring.
Okay, buddy.
I mean, it did have its like snooze fest parts, but you have the escape from Asgard, and then Thor getting his hand cut off. Oh wait, no, it's Loki. That guy. Q Q Q. I thought that was.
I mean,
cool.
you could be right. I saw half of the movie in the theater when I was a child. I remember literally nothing about it.
Most of the good stuff happens at the end.
Oh yeah.
Are you a Thor 2 enjoyer, Kathy?
I'm not a Thor 2 enjoyer. Like, I'm a Thor 2, like, last 30 minutes enjoyer.
Okay. The only Thor movie I've seen is Love and Thunder. The only Thor movie I've seen all of is Love and Thunder. Yes.
Dude,
It's really
right.
bad, isn't it?
I
Love
loved
and
it.
Thunder. No, Love and Thunder is really good, but it's not nearly as good as fucking Ragnarok. Ragnarok is absolutely the best.
I haven't seen Ragnarok yet, so I can't speak to it, but I will say that I think Love and Thunder was like genuinely really fun and charming the whole time, and I actually like loved it to pieces.
Yeah, there was a couple of annoying spots in there, but after I got past all that, after I got past the fucking internet and its immediate hatred, it's woke. Like, it's not fucking woke. You guys are just fucking stupid. Okay, it's fine. Lady Thor, woke. Alright, fucking Mighty Thor is fucking awesome. I love Mighty Thor, and Mjolnir fucking splitting off when you get introduced to Mighty Thor.
I thought it
with
was
the
a little
Mjolnir.
dumb
That was
and
fucking
woke.
cool.
I thought it was a little dumb and woke when it was announced, but then they did good shit with it in the movie, so...
I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, you get woke
Lady Thor
movies
is a
like...
big problem. Vote it up.
You get woke movies like
Wrong show.
Love and Thunder, but then you have really good conservative movies like Dark Crystal.
Okay, that's not what conservative in this context means. Shut
Truly,
that
Yeah,
down.
because the Skeksis are like Republicans, you see.
No, shut up. Stop you making everything political. It is not.
No. I liked when Jen turned to the camera at the end and said, "Make America Great Again." That was
No, you're getting it all wrong. So here's the thing. It's like it's just like American politics, right? You have Skeksis, the bad guys, the Republicans, and you have the Mystics, the good guys, the Democrats.
I like when the Mystics set up an abortion clinic. That was
Oh yeah, that
also
was
pretty
a good that was a good scene. Yeah.
Anyone want to wrap up their first initial thoughts? Because I do have like a 15 fascinating facts about the Dark Crystal, and I won't read every little word.
God.
I just no. It's
brought in a fucking BuzzFeed article about the Dark Crystal.
Actually, it's
15
mental
fun
flaw.
facts you didn't know about Dark Crystal movies.
Actually, no. It's
actually
it's mentalfloss.com.
Oh, great.
so. Why is the Dark Crystal evil?
Oh well,
Like,
no. The crystal itself isn't evil. All right, so to spoil alert for everyone. So I forgot I don't think they ever like said exactly specifically what they were in their true form. The Skeksis and the Mystics when they combined together at the very end. I don't
Does
remember.
it come up in the shitty Netflix show that I've heard they made?
No, and I didn't fucking watch the fucking Netflix show because like they did the one fucking season and then boom, they fucking canceled it. So like I didn't want to watch it, but I might actually watch it just because. But blah blah blah.
Well,
There was
when you do watch it, it won't be for this podcast. I have
Oh,
no
yeah, that's
interest
fine.
in further Dark
That's-
Crystal content.
Oh, fuck off! It really you're being overly dramatic with your claims of it being boring.
It's
Wait,
so boring.
It's not
Riley,
boring.
you
You
don't
just don't have an attention span.
Riely, why don't you want to learn the pod people lore? I don't understand.
Podlings.
Because I don't care. Because they
You
did
don't
nothing
care
to make
about
me
the-
care.
You don't care about the deep and rich cultural history of the pod people?
They didn't tell me about any of that, really.
Yeah, there was okay. Anyway. So, in their true form, there was a sundering when the three suns lined up, and they beamed down their sunny little magic onto the crystal. Well, something happened, and they split. I guess essentially both their personalities: the selfish, gluttonous, evil, mean-spirited side, and the decent side, the just
Much
side.
like King Piccolo and Kami.
Oh yeah,
Dragon
actually,
Ball.
yeah, that's a really apt analogy right there. That's a very good analogy to use Dragon Ball terms. Yeah, and so it's been a fight for like the last 1,000 years, and unfortunately, they couldn't do anything about it at the very beginning because they had to wait for another sundering. You know, another event where the suns aligned again and hit the crystal, and there was a shard of the crystal that broke off, and it's supposed to purify the crystal again. I forgot what the point of this was. I started talking about the ending. What was the initial question?
Why the crystal was evil.
Oh, well, no, it wasn't evil. The Skeksis just were stronger than the Mystics at that point in time because they were weakened. Like they said it during the ending. Through our arrogance, we made mistakes, and now we leave you with the crystal of truth. Make your world in its light. And then boom, you have like a nice little crystal palace, and everything's green and beautiful. And Kira gets revived because she dies at the end for like 5 minutes. But
That was stupid.
no, that was
Yeah.
fine. That was sacrifice, and you
No, but like,
you can't kill a main character in front of the kids. And you know
Yes,
that's
you
gonna
can.
make well, it's gonna
Fucking
make him
watch
feel.
him do
It's
it.
gonna make
Hold on,
it's gonna make him
hold on.
feel bad though. And Kira was cool, so they
The
brought her
thing
back.
is,
Not everything can be the Lion King.
the way the scene is framed, I just don't understand why it would happen. Because
Oh, well, just because it was
no.
selfishness.
Listen.
Sorry.
The selfishness is the exact reason why I don't understand why they did it. Because in the scene, Kira has the crystal. The Skeksis are like, "Give us the crystal," and Jen's like, "Yes, give them the crystal." And then
Well, because
she
he was
throws
freaking
it
out.
to
He was
Jen,
freaking out.
who has expressed desire to give them the crystal in exchange for not harming her. So instead of keeping their bargaining chip, they just fucking kill her.
Well, that's just classic bad guys. I mean, what
Oh,
are you gonna do?
why? It's a
Well,
completely
you can't.
fucking brain dead move. 'Cause
Okay,
all they had to
okay.
do
This is
was
80s,
leave
and
her
this is for
alive.
kids. This
All
is
they had to do-
80s, and this is for kids.
All they had to do was
You
leave her
can't-
alive and be like, "We're gonna kill her if you don't give us the crystal." And Jen would have been like,
Oh.
here you go."
Well, because he was having a moment of weakness. Jen was, and he was freaking out. He just didn't want her to die because he was sort of insinuating that he was kind of in love with her.
Jen did what he did. I don't understand why the Skeksis did what they did because they had a bargaining chip that could have gotten them the crystal and they just threw it away.
I don't know. Bad guys will be bad.
Bro, it's literally just like, I don't know. It's like a kid's movie. It doesn't have to make complete sense 100% of the time.
I think that's a really glaring plot hole that they know this crystal can doom them, and they know that this kid wants nothing more than his girlfriend to live. So all they have to do is continue to threaten her, and he'll give them the crystal. But then they just kill her.
Yeah, but they're dicks anyway. So the bad guy's going to be bad. You can't really think about it too much because this isn't like a movie.
And here's
that
how the bad guys are bad. This happens in fucking Mighty Morphin Power Rangers a million times. You make the deal with the bad guy, you give the bad guy the thing they want, and then they go back on the deal. They don't just eliminate their bargaining chip before the deal is made.
That's just how it is, man. I think you're kind of like dwelling too much on this
because it's so stupid.
It's not stupid.
It's the
you're
massive
thinking too much
plot
about
hole.
it. It's not a plot hole. Come on.
It is.
Okay, all right.
They know their whole people are doomed if they don't get this crystal, and they eliminate their only path to getting it.
Okay, possible reason. Jim and fucking Frank probably realized, oh man, maybe we shouldn't have spent all that time making everyone watch the Skeksis eats. So they had to fucking hurry up and wrap it up. Maybe it's cut content. Who knows? Anyway, all right. So
So what exactly?
Yeah, maybe they fixed the plot hole and then they cut it out of the movie.
So
maybe.
what exactly is happening? Why did he have to put the shard into the crystal right then?
Well, because if he didn't put the crystal into the dark crystal, the little shard into the dark crystal, it wouldn't have purified it, and then everything would have been fucked, and then the Skeksis would roll over. Well, hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
And then the Skeksis would have ruled over everyone. They would have been young and immortal, essentially forever. And the Sundering, everything bad that happened during the Sundering initially 1,000 years ago, would be like forever. That's essentially what happened.
And also, to further elaborate on what Kathy was actually asking, I'm pretty sure...
I just answered that.
No, but the way...
Oh, sorry.
She asked why it had to be right then, and I'm pretty sure it was less it had to be right then, and more it had to happen before the thing that was about to happen right then. He just got there at the last second.
Yeah.
The sun thing? Like the 1,000
So he got
thing?
there right before the sun thing happened. But if he had gotten there at any point before that, it would have worked just as well. It's just once the sun thing happens, you're fucked.
Well, why the fuck did they wait this long?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like they never really addressed that. It's just convenient timing. That's
they do address it. The master
logic.
apologizes. He's like, I should have told you this like a long time ago. Sorry, bro.
Then why did he do it?
Why
did he do it? He just fucking was like, okay, do this thing without any fucking guidance at all. Fuck you.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of how that's how your mystic master, your teacher, does things. That's how you get on like mighty quests.
No. That's the teacher just being lazy, and then at the last possible fucking moment, finally trying to do something.
Did I not tell him about the thing with the crystal and the sun? Shit. Fuck. I should probably do that before I die.
All right. I mean, like, do also factor in that he is 1,000 years old, and he's probably had fucking Gen for probably like maybe 15, 16. I mean, it's never really known like how old Gen or Kira actually are. You just know that they're very, very young. It's about the journey of youth, and it's like about like freaking out about getting old. That's like an underlying tone that I gleaned from that watching this movie earlier today, as of this recording.
I guess whatever.
This movie.
What do you mean, whatever? I
don't know.
I felt nothing about like the actual story or the plot of the characters. I felt things, but they were all, oh my god, look at that awesome puppet, or oh my god, look at that thick environment. But when it came to the plot or the characters or anything about the film itself, I could barely sit through it.
Exactly.
I could have watched this movie muted at 5 times speed and just looked at it, and I would have enjoyed it just as much.
Probably more, because it would have taken up less of my time.
Exactly.
It's like so like boring. It didn't have any Fortnite dances or anything. Oh my god!
You didn't have Fortnite dance. I fucking I guess Mo Diggity doesn't know this to his credit.
Why isn't he default dancing?
Listen, it was Crow Royalty who was here with us, not you. But to be clear, I defended fucking House of Gucci. Okay, I don't need my movies to be fucking Fortnite dancey. I just need them to give me reason to give a fuck about what I'm watching. And this movie did not do that.
I defended fucking Das Boot, a 3-hour-long movie in German.
Ooh, that's a slog to get in, but you know.
That
That's
movie did have a lot going for it, but it was. I also was pissed that I had to sit through a 3.5-hour German movie.
Oh, dude, I challenge the both of you. If you haven't done it, and I'll even be merciful. Watch the Mystery Science Theater 3000 version of German Hamlet. If you want to slog, if you really want to put yourself through some pain, that is a fucking movie to watch. Even though it's better with MST3K, we gotta do some MST3K fucking stuff, by the way. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I mean, once it's your next round to pick a movie in 6 weeks, maybe you could give us some Mystery Science Theater.
Possibly.
Or not even 6 weeks, fucking 9, because it's Wes Anderson films next round.
I'm almost tempted to say, hey, let's just do this weekly so I can hurry up and get to my fucking round.
No, you could say the word at any time.
No. Too many podcasts already. Too many podcasts.
I know.
All right. Okay. Real quick, let me at least do. I'll do like a set of 5 of these facts. Then we'll have some more bull sessions about like some other stuff, and I'll just like whittle down my factoid list because I think these are cool. All right. So, the illustrator for this movie, Brian Froud, was discovered by Jim Henson 6 years before The Dark Crystal released. And so, Henson saw some art from the British illustrator in a book called Once Upon a Time and soon asked him to collaborate. And the culmination of the imagery that he found that him and Froud got into became what is the Dark Crystal's symbolic structure. So, like everything that you see, sort of like came from him. So I guess like 6 years ago. It was like a slow burn for this movie. Froud got his design ideas from eating lobster dinners. So those fucking like weird beetle fucking creatures, which scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. The one that are like sent to get the gelflings and the podlings and all that. Those are based upon like the shells of lobsters and stuff. It's like fucking super disgusting, and I thought it's really cool. They remind me of the fucking enemies in any Fallout game. I forgot what they're called specifically. The crustacean fucking enemies. Those are like some of the coolest fucking enemies.
Giant enemy crabs.
Well, they're called something else. I just fucking forgot about it.
But real quick, I just had to slide in real quick for your next fact, just for a brief second. I have something extremely stupid to say, but I would like to before I forget it. You just said "once upon a time," and it just made me think of I had a really stupid idea. So follow me on this, right? It's like a PG rated kids film, and the cast is like lampooned version of fairy tale characters, kind of like Shrek, but like different though. But like in terms of that concept of being like parodyized fairy tale characters. And the premise of the film is that it's a murder mystery. And it's called, do you want to know what it's called?
What?
Once Upon a Crime.
Boo. Boo.
I'm gonna pitch this to fucking Illumination and make $1 billion, and you won't be laughing then.
No, I'll be like, hey,
hey, buddy,
what's up, my friend, my bestest best friend? What's up? Can I have like 100,000? All right. I think the first 3 are like Brian Froud facts, but all right. So Brian Froud met his wife on the set. Met his future wife, puppet designer Wendy Middener. While in production of The Dark Crystal, when she was hired to sculpt the 3D versions of the Gelfling designs for the movie. She later sculpted and helped puppeteer Yoda for The Empire Strikes Back. So that's another reason why, if you're like a Star Wars fan, Frank Oz and Brian Froud are sort of the reason why fucking Yoda exists.
Yoda?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, because all these people, Jim Henson, Frank Oz, fucking oh god, no.
But real quick, FYI, do we ever a question? Star Wars question.
Yeah.
Does Yoda ever kick anybody's ass in the prequel trilogy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He kicks Dooku's ass, I think. Whatever his name is.
Okay. Listen. I've been holding off on the prequels. Obviously, we were supposed to do a mocast on them like the next week after we did the original trilogy, and then I could not get through Phantom Menace. But maybe if I get to see Yoda murk a fool, I might give those prequel trilogy another look.
I'll say this though. I'll say this though, like the Dooku fight is really cool, but it's all about Episode 3, which I think is absolutely the best of the three, and I think it holds its own
Is that
versus hold on. Yeah, I think it holds its own versus the original trilogy.
is
So
that the
there's like
one
four of them
where
best.
is that the one where Anakin and Obi-Wan fight?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's the culmination of like almost 2.5 decades, or about 20 years
That was always
worth of Star Wars shit.
maybe this wouldn't bother me as much now, but like when I was a kid, the reason why, like not the only reason, but one of the reasons why I never got into Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the Cartoon Network show, even though everybody seemed to like it so much, is because like I knew some tertiary Star Wars lore just from hearing it like around, and I'm like, how am I supposed to like enjoy this show and enjoy the like second billing main character knowing he eventually becomes evil and there's nothing in this show that can change that.
Well, the cool thing about the Clone Wars is, from like what I've gathered, sometimes because there was also a lot of well, this got sold over to Disney. What's Disney going to do with canon? So there was a question mark about where canon's going to go. And every once in a while, the Clone Wars kind of throws you a curveball and kind of makes you question, oh, is this ultimately going to end up into episodes 1, 2, and 3? I mean, spoiler alert, they do, but it's kind of cool that they play with that a little bit. And Clone Wars is fucking awesome. I highly recommend watching that.
Because Anakin is like, besides like Ahsoka, he's the main character. He's like the male lead of Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Well, that's debatable if he's the male lead. Some would say Obi-Wan is, but that's whatever.
Okay, I didn't really see that much of the show, but I had always been under the impression that Ahsoka was like the main character, and then like right under her was Anakin.
Well, I also don't know like a ton about, because I haven't watched all of the Clone Wars. I watched like a couple of seasons, I think, once upon a time, but I don't remember shit about it. Hell, I'd probably like forget.
I still
I've probably
watch
forgotten
that.
all of it.
Did you watch the Star Wars anime thing that came out?
Oh, it's okay. I tried watching it last year, and it doesn't hold up very well. Like some of it holds up, but a lot of it is like, ugh. We were sort of content starved for Star Wars at the time, and because like we had the nasty taste of Episode 2 that just came out, I was like, dude, we need something good, and it was like,
Wait,
Gendy Tartakovsky came out. 'Cause I didn't like Episode 2, but so
hold on.
Gendy, the guy who made Samurai Jack, did this a little 2 to 3 minute little minisodes of Star Wars, and it
Are
was
we
kind
thinking
of
of
cool.
the same thing?
Yeah, are
The
you talking
Star
about?
Wars anime stuff that came out like a few years ago on Disney Plus.
That. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the old days, because that's what I remember, because that's the 3D stuff. No, that shit's fucking excellent. I love the hell out of that.
Okay, because that's what I wanted to check out. Because like, if you'll remember, one of my big criticisms of the original 3 is just how stiff the lightsaber fights were. And if you want to make a lightsaber fight look fucking sick as hell, putting it in an anime is probably a pretty good way to do it. So,
Yeah, they do a fucking fantastic job in all the lightsaber fights.
Yeah, I might check that out. I do want to like be into Star Wars. You see, I'm scared. My greatest fear, and I feel like this will come true if I pursue Star Wars. And the very thought will terrify you, Mo Diggity. But knowing me, knowing my taste in like things, I feel like my Star Wars is going to end up being the fucking sequel trilogy.
Now,
I
here's the
feel
thing.
like
Well,
I'm going to
I
enjoy the
can't
sequel
really
trilogy.
Well, I can't really stop you from that, because I'm going to be honest with you. Unfortunately, J.J. Abrams has made his fucking mark, especially with Star Trek, which I don't hate, but I just don't think it's very good. I don't
Wait,
hate,
hold
but
on.
I don't. Hold on, let me finish. I don't hate, but I don't think it's very good either. I'm still all about the OG shit with that, because it's okay, and I think Star Trek being too flashy is just goes against what Star Trek actually is. I don't know. It's just me, but that's another podcast for another time. Kathy, go ahead.
You don't hate the J.J. Abrams movies?
Well, I don't hate them. They're okay. Like if I'm with
You do
friends,
not. No.
if I'm
They are
no,
not okay.
we-
They're
no,
not okay.
I'll,
They are an
I'll sit there with
abomination
friend-
against
Shut
man.
the fuck up, you fucking nerd, you fucking geek. I'm gonna hang you on a locker by your underwear, you little fucking geeko. Get the fuck out of here.
I'll
I
sit
don't
there and
think
watch them with friends, but I'm not going to really go out of my way and watch them.
Like actual fucking Guantanamo Bay torture level movies.
Now I'm gonna like pretend to like those movies even if I don't, because now like I want to like them so bad.
They are against everything that Star Trek is as a series. Like they are the opposite of that.
Well,
Stupid
Star
fucking...
Trek as I know it is kind of lame and gay, so maybe a departure might be.
You're fucking lame and gay. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Boo, boo, Riely, boo.
Boo. Besides, you don't
Alright.
even
Go ahead.
you've never even watched Star Trek, so
No, I haven't at all.
so you get
All
to
right.
say nothing.
I read like a script from some like android human rights trial in my English class once.
What the fuck?
Like Data or something. I don't fucking
Yeah,
know.
I know what you're
I'm
talking about.
right, Kathy? Yeah, that was in my fucking English textbook in like 8th grade. So that's all of the Star Trek I've been exposed to.
Jesus. All right. Okay, let me go ahead and get these first two because they're very interesting. Number 4. Henson wrote the movie's original outline while snowed in a hotel on February 6, 1978. Oh, okay, so we finally actually find out how long ago he actually started. So in 78. Henson and his daughter Cheryl were forced to spend the night at a Howard Johnson's at the JFK airport in New York City in the midst of the blizzard. With little else to do, Henson handwrote multiple pages of the movie's outline for screenwriter David Odell to work with. So David Odell, hell yeah, I know about that guy. He's done some work that I've heard of a lot with Henson and all that. So that's cool. All right, good. I got a question answered in 1978. That's when it started. All right. And finally, on number 5, Henson made a mandatory book recommendation. Both Froud and the Dark Crystal screenwriter David Odell were told by Henson to read Jane Roberts' 1972 book, Seth Speaks the Eternal Validity of the Soul, based on, all right, that answers a lot of I'm 7 and this is deep questions right there. Based on Robert's experiences channeling a multi-dimensional being that
the second time.
Hold on a second. This is actually really cool. The eternal validity of the soul, based on Robert's experiences channeling a multi-dimensional being that existed outside of space and time. Odell claimed Agura's line, "He could be anywhere then," was influenced by Robert's book. And he's talking about how when Jen's master died.
I remember this.
Yeah,
This
so
was a very I'm 7 and this is deep moment.
Yeah, I thought that. All right, I now have a profound respect for that then, because that's some shit that I fucking thought of when I was on acid back in my early 20s. All right. What's before I go on to like a 6 through 10, if you want to do it like that still, what's your favorite aspect about the background and all that, like the practical effects, I guess. What is something that really, I get, that's a better question. What stood out for you in the practical effects in the environment and the set pieces? What's something that you really thoroughly enjoyed?
I mean, when it came to the practical effects, I think like my answer might be a little more broad than what you're looking for, but I think just like the puppeteering in general, like I think everything moved in a very like lifelike sense, at least as much as it could, given the limitations of the time. And even though there were little things like, like lip sync and stuff that took me out of it, like mostly this felt like real characters moving around.
Oh yeah, I saw the lip sync problems, but immediately I sort of like put that out of my head because I'm fucking 43, and I really shouldn't let that limit my shit because like this is made in 1982, started in 78, and I can't let like the little things drag me down like that. I don't think that's fair to the fun aspect of this movie.
Yeah, that's fair. I just let the boring plot drag it down, is what I let drag it down.
No, fuck off.
But I guess Kathy, do you have an answer for that?
I don't.
Oh.
Is there anything that you liked about this movie?
Were you not into the visual artistry either? Because you didn't bring that up before. I remember you said I'm gonna reiterate Riley's point, and I was expecting you to praise the visuals and then shit on the plot like I did. But you didn't bring up the visuals at all.
No, I like the visuals. I think they're great. I think they're good. I would have enjoyed the visuals 10 times more than I did if I enjoyed what the visuals
if the movie was good. Yeah, that's fair.
I probably should appreciate the visuals a bit more than I do. But,
I thought that was really cool is like you really got to see like some real fledgling sort of 3D lighting effect. Well, not 3D lighting effects, sort of like green screen lighting effects, where there was this little like creature was chasing like this little like group of flies around, and you can see that it's the creature is a puppet, but the little like lightning bugs and stuff were like I guess computer graphics, computer generated graphics, maybe like early CGI. I thought that was kind of cool because that sort of looks like well, no, I guess it doesn't look like Disney's little lighting effects too, because they were using sort of like hand drawn computer graphics at that time. Like it's just like different kind of graphics. So anyway.
But, I don't know if me and Kathy have much left in terms of this film. You have 10 facts left, correct?
All right, I'll be real quick then because they're worth just reading the headlines for. Number 6, the original Grimm fairy tales were also an influence. Frank Oz recalled that Henson wasn't afraid to possibly scare the children who were his fans of the Muppet movies and his puppets from Sesame Street. He wanted to get back to the darkness of the original stories by the Brothers Grimm. So that makes sense with a lot of things in this movie. I enjoy that. That was really cool.
I mean, yeah, but like the Muppet movies at least were telling like compelling, fun stories.
Well, this was a compelling, fun story. You're just being a fuddy-duddy.
Can we? So last year, the Christmas special for this show is we reviewed a kind of shitty ABC Family Christmas movie. Can we review a Muppet Christmas Carol this year? I feel like that'd be a lot better.
Fuck yes, no! That's it, dude. Yeah, fuck yeah. That's it's one of my favorite fucking Christmas movies.
Get fucked, Kathy. You're outvoted. We're doing Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite fucking Christmas movies.
I hate happiness.
It's not very happy all the time. It's kind of a fucking Kermit gets fucked throughout most of that movie, and he's watching his fucking son Tiny Tim die mostly through it.
Have you seen Miss Piggy? That must be awful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the Marley and Marley fucking puppets fucking scene, it's fucking great, man. It's one of my favorite songs out of that movie.
I commend you, Mo, for how quickly and efficiently you swept that under the rug.
You want to know a good?
We're Marley and Marley. Oh, I fucking love that scene.
You want to know a great fucking movie that is a musical?
I mean, sure.
That one fucking animated Lord of the Rings movie.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. That's dude. The both of those movies, the Hobbits and I don't know if the other books got the animated treatment, but I know that Return of the King got the animated treatment too.
Listen,
Those two are definitely
Hey,
on my list of
hold
shit
on.
that I want to talk about.
Can we make Riely watch it, please?
Of course.
I would like to say, listen, I know the rules of this podcast. I know that I can't say no to any movies. That's how it works, is we get to pick a movie and the other ones can't say shit. But all I'm saying is if any of you pick a Lord of the Rings thing, I can't guarantee that I won't be found unresponsive in my bedroom between the time you pick it and the time we're supposed to review it.
Don't worry about it. Like you're looking at like an hour and a half tops with the animated stuff. It's not like the 3-hour saga like the real movies are.
Fuck, maybe I
No,
can't.
And they're animated, but I have an attention span, so I can watch the fucking uncut director's cut super duper special edition 4 to 5 hour fucking edition of each of the fucking Lord of the Rings trilogy and the fucking Hobbit trilogy, which I think is fucking great too.
I think the Hobbit trilogy is dog water, but the original ones are really good.
I think it's so fashionable to bag on the Hobbit movies. I think it's kind of like a
Florian Hemsel moment.
I think it's good. I think the Hobbit trilogy is fine. There's a little bit of a snooze fest here and there, but
Mo, you should.
I like it.
Mo,
I really dislike.
You can go first, Cappy. Go ahead.
I really dislike that they used CGI for all of the monsters and shit when they didn't do that for the original. It looked so much better.
Yeah.
No, you should listen to the recently Mumkey did a podcast on the Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies. He did his movie show.
I've recently, because I need a new podcast to listen to, because
have you been listening to Is It Kino?
Hold on a second, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Because fucking Asterios hasn't put out a loudest podcast episode in almost a month. And
I know, dude.
I've been and I'm tired of going to sleep to Biggest Problem and the Dick Show. Not because I'm bored of those shows, just because I keep listening to the same episodes like multiple times a week because that's how I sleep. I sleep to podcasts. So I've been getting into Some Ordinary podcast. And because that's Mudahar and Nux Taku's fucking podcast, which is fucking great. And I went ahead and got into like Mumkey Jones's Treehouse,
the Simeon Jimmy's Treehouse podcast.
Yeah, thank you. I've been listening to that. It's fucking awesome. It's now one of my new favorites. And I have been listening to Is It Kino. I've been binging mini binging Is It Kino. And I wish the episode was fucking longer.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the personality? I want to know how you feel about each Kino co-host you've met so far.
Well, I've been kind of sleeping to those podcasts, but so far it's kind of cool. Because I'm not used to Reactor because I've never really heard. Yeah,
I wasn't on any Is It Kinos.
Oh fuck! No, I'm thinking about the Treehouse.
You're thinking of the Treehouse, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm watching. I kind of don't have an opinion just yet, just because I haven't been awake for enough of them. But I will give you a real opinion. But so far, I've been enjoying it. I think they're good co-hosts and they mesh well together.
Yeah, you should definitely listen to the Hobbit one because it's really fun. You are in the minority opinion for that one, but I feel like you have the stomach to enjoy it anyway. It's Mumkey and E-Rich and I think Weekend Warrior and Florian. And Florian.
Yeah.
Florian is the only one defending the Hobbit, and the other three just like dog on him the whole time.
Oh, I gotta watch it then. I'll say this. Mumkey has convinced me to give the Flash and I'm not giving the fucking Snyder. I don't know. Should I just fucking watch this? Yeah, I've listened to that 3 fucking times already.
Don't watch the Snyder.
Should I watch the Snyder cut instead of the Justice fucking League?
Don't watch either.
If you have to watch Justice League, then do the Snyder cut.
No,
because I need the fucking deep lore, because I fucking hated Batman v Superman. It's easily one of the worst cape shit movies I've ever seen.
I haven't seen that one yet, and I kind of want to do it on this show. I probably
Martha!
Honestly, dude, you're
Martha!
Martha. Why did you say his name? Why did you say his name, Martha? Dude, it's so bad. It's just God. You're in. I'm going to be honest. You're in for a disappointment. Monkey
I don't know. Yeah,
fucking
Monkey
loves the
defends
shit
it
out
to
of that
death,
movie.
Yeah.
And so that's all. I was like, okay. And then I watched a couple of clips off of fucking TikTok of the Flash movie, and I didn't hate it. I fucking loved it. In fact, the 2 clips I saw was like, dude, that's nice. And so I think I'm not going to watch it on official sources because I'm not giving fucking Ezra Miller a goddamn dime. But I might give it a shot.
If you weren't aware, Mo, I don't know if you were ever into Is It Kino like back in the day at all, or if this is your first foray.
This is kind of my first
are you
foray.
guys-
I've heard about it for years, but I never
Shut the
really got
fuck
into
up,
it.
Kathy.
Well, you
guys
tell her
ready
to
to
shut the
move-
fuck up. It's fine. Kathy, go ahead.
Are you guys ready to move on to 3
No,
questions?
we're not. We're in the middle of a conversation, so obviously we're fucking not. So I will bring you back to shut the fuck up. I'm almost done. I'm finishing up this conversation I'm having with Mo Diggity. I know you don't care. Just shut the fuck up for a minute, okay? Okay, are we cool?
I mean,
we got it? We understand each other?
We haven't talked about the movie in like 20 minutes.
That's not true. You're exaggerating greatly on that point.
No,
Well,
that is true.
No. I'll get to the factoids in just a second.
Yeah, I have like 2 more sentences to say. I just want to say, the old Is It Kino episodes, which you can find archived on Spotify, I would definitely recommend checking some of those out. Some of the people who don't appear on the Monkey Jones channel anymore are on there, including there's a couple that Asterios were on, and they're very good. And then there's the most magical trio in Is It Kino history is one we will unfortunately never see again, and that trio is Monkey, E-Rich, and Asperger.
Oh, nice.
Because Monkey and Asperger bully E-Rich very well, and it's very funny.
All right, I'll have to check it out. All right. Going back to this because I know Kathy wants to talk about it or wrap it up or something. That's fine. All right. Number 7. This was Frank Oz's first directing job. He directed over 70% of the movie. That's according to Jim Henson when he was alive. That's what he said. Having 2 directors was so confusing and slowed things down for the crew so much that an assistant director was tasked with informing Henson and Oz that everyone wanted Henson to direct himself, and Henson denied the request. So Oz did almost the entire movie. 6 performers were operating each creature simultaneously, so I guess that expands upon the question that you, Riely, asked earlier that I couldn't ask very well. It took 6 people to work the animatronic. It took 6 people to work the animatronic Skeksis creatures. 2 were stuffed in the bird-like body. Okay, it was a fucking bird then. While 4 worked on a platform underneath the surface. 1 group of performers worked for at least 6 months before shooting even began. They shot the most complicated scenes first, and it's a YouTube video, so obviously we're going to skip that. Shooting began on April 15th, 1981. One of the first scenes shot was the big showdown between Jen and Kira and the Skeksis in the Crystal Chamber. So basically they did the ending of the movie first. Henson molded the Skeksis on the 7 deadly sins, and that would be wrath, greed, sloth, pride, blah, blah, blah. You know that there was more than 7, since there were more than 7 of them, some of the sins were repeated. Number 11. It was all shot with a faint color tint to resemble Froud's conceptual designs. This was done with a quote-unquote light flex by Oscar-winning cinematographer Oswald Morris, who retired after his work on the Dark Crystal. The Skeksis and Mystics were originally had an Indo-European rooted language. David Odell wrote the original scripts for the Skeksis and the Mystics, to share a similar language with the Skeksis using cruder, uglier versions of it. However, the actors are too busy trying to work on their movements to learn new words, so they spoke mostly gibberish until 13. The first preview audience hated the movie. So, and on March 19th, 1982, a Washington, D.C. crowd was one of the first groups of people ever to witness the original cut, and they didn't like it. Mostly because they were confused and unhappy with not understanding what the Skeksis were saying. Henson asked Odell to add some voiceovers as well as some new dialogue so that the Skeksis could be reworded into English.
Holy shit, there was definitely a cut of this movie where all that one the guy said was
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's all he said.
Yeah, there was a fucking cut. So, everyone released the cut. I want to see it. We got the fucking standard cut. Give me the cut. The Skeksis cut. We'll do the Skeksis cut. Kathy, you have something to say?
Riveting.
The fucking hurts my fucking throat trying to do that. All right. 14. Henson paid $15 million of his own money to buy the film from its studio. ITC Entertainment had new leadership in the form of Robert Holmes, a Quartz. I don't know how to say the one with the little hyphen or whatever on top of it, who gave the film little advertising after its first bad screening. Worried his baby wasn't going to get the chance it deserved, Henson spent all of the money he had available to buy his movie from Quartz. The movie came in third on its opening weekend, losing the Tootsie and the Toy. Toy being that Robin Williams movie, which did fucking fantastic. And it's a good movie on its own right. But the movie that was made on a $15 million budget eventually ended up making $40 million at the box office. So it was a huge smash hit back in then because $40 million fucking really, really meant something. And finally, number 15, a sequel has been in the works for a while. It has been reported that Jim Henson's children and some of the original creative team have been working on Power of the Dark Crystal, a sequel, for many years now. Director Shane Abras left the project because executives wouldn't allow him to follow through on Henson's handwritten notes on what he wanted the sequel to be. So that's cool.
Was this written prior to the Netflix show then, maybe?
There's a good possibility. Let me see. This article is
so that sequel eventually manifested into this Netflix show, I would assume.
Probably July 23rd, 2015 when this was originally written, and this was updated September 27th, 2022. So last year, basically, is when this got some extra oomph to it. But yeah, 15 amazing, fascinating facts about the Dark Crystal.
There you go, folks. You're now more learned than you were when you started listening.
Learning about the Dark Crystal.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. All right, gamers, let's talk about the wrap-up questions. First of which is, who is your favorite character? And I will answer this first because it's very easy. It's Kira, because she was the least bad. She was.
Hey, you also like fucking Death Note. Don't act like that's not an influence.
What are you talking about?
Because Kira.
I got it now. One of my favorite Power Rangers is also named Kira. So the name Kira does carry a lot of positive force in my life. But yeah, I think she was just like the most pleasant and enjoyable of the characters. Which again is not saying much. But she did all right. I imagine Kathy has a different answer because she hates women. So Kathy, who's your favorite character?
Can you hear that?
I just heard. Okay, so your favorite characters. Okay, gotcha. What about you, Mo?
You know what? Just because there's no love for him, I'm going to pick Jen. because he was a good
Fuck
kid.
that little boy. Fuck that little nerd.
He was a good kid, and he was given an epic quest by his fucking master, the Master of the Mystics. So that was fucking cool, and I always liked him as a kid. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him the nod. Second, honorable mention is the Skeksis. So that was going to be my fucking answer, but Kathy represents. So
of course. There's a snort. That one's staying in, probably. I can't turn it off, even though like I don't get that deep when I edit this show, so it's not like I have to worry about it. But now that I've been editing the MoCast as deeply as I have been, whenever you breathe or snort, my brain just like all of my alarms go off because I'm like, oh no.
You could just like make a note real quick on the freaking general in the Geark.
I mean, I guess, but it would take a lot to do that every time
you
snorted or breathed, Mo.
Well, no, I thought you were talking about you snorting.
Oh no, I was talking about you.
I didn't snort.
Yes, you did.
I did?
Yep.
Fuck. All right, sorry.
You do it a lot, and
I'm full of phlegm. I can't.
I try to silence it every time on the MoCast because you pay me, so I put in a lot of effort. So I've become hyper aware of Mo snorts.
All right, just don't tell me that. God damn it. Oh, that bothers me. You have no fucking idea.
Well, a lot of it doesn't make it into the MoCast, so you don't have to worry. But this show, though, I don't do that. So all the audience just got to hear a prime Mo Diggity snort. Oh, shit.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, this is favorite scene.
Credits. I'm just kidding. That's a lie. You can't do that. That's against the rules. I've established the rules.
Yeah, that's lame.
I mean, to be fair, credits were very pretty.
Yeah, the credits were extremely pretty. This was like back in the era of like pretty credits scene, like the Rescuers. No, that's more of an example of the credits at the beginning of the movie, and then you got a couple of like maybe 2 to 3 minutes worth of credits at the end of the movie. But yeah, they did pretty credits.
Yeah, it's true. But my favorite scene, I think it's the death of the scientist. I liked all the like animals bursting out of their cages and shit, and then they fucking maul him into a pit. Like that was pretty. That scene was pretty fucking raw, and I really liked the visuals on like the animals and stuff. So I'll go ahead and give it to that.
Cool.
Should I go next or?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's that one-eyed lady's room.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool scene. That blew my fucking mind when I was a kid. I was like, whoa, really? That's so neat. I forgot what the technical name of like that configuration is with all the planets and stars and moon and shit.
I believe they call that
Astroblade. No, you dingleberry. I think it's like an astrolabe or something like that. But anyway, sorry, Kathy, I'm stepping over your shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's like that cool fucking scene with that. I really like that one.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my god! No. Just real quick, are you doing that from the Discord soundboard?
Yes, I am.
So none of the listeners can hear it. Okay, she was playing the from the movie.
Yeah, but I really like the kind of like technical work. It's just like a very cool workshop looking thing.
I liked how they put enough detail where what's her name is just she's talking to Jen, and occasionally she just she doesn't do that.
Stop! The listeners can't hear that.
And occasionally she'll just fucking duck under there and like interrupts her. Like it's the little things in this movie that bring a lot of charm into that, and I thought that was really cool. And the way that she grunts while she's kneeling down to help out Jen pick out a crystal, I really enjoyed that. Good scene.
Fair. Now I gotta rate this movie out of 10. Now this is.
I haven't gone yet.
Oh fuck! You're right. Sorry. What's your favorite scene?
I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to say when they're extracting the essence from the podlings, because I didn't understand that as a kid, and it scared the shit out of me. It made me so sad because like they weren't like like Jason Voorhees level evil or Michael Myers or slasher evil, right? But this was a type of like, oh wow, I'm 7 and I don't understand the concept of good and evil. And so when I saw that, I was like, dude, this is so bad. Oh wow, why? And like, I think I cried a few times after I saw that because they scared the shit out of me. And I watched that. I was like, dude, this scene's so fucking good. So I'll go ahead and give that to Nod. I guess runner up would be the ending because I loved how the Mystics and the Skeksis joined back together to get back in their original form. I thought that was cool.
Okay, so now we're at the rating out of 10. And real quick, Kathy, I have a... fuck. God damn it. Kathy.
Kathy came back. It's fine. Go
Kathy,
ahead.
are you there? Can you hear us?
In the bedroom, in the crescendo, Kathy.
Okay, there you go. There she is. Kathy, real quick, it's come time to rate it out of 10. And real quick, I have a completely unrelated question that has nothing to do with how I'm scoring this movie, okay? What did I give American Psycho 2?
No fucking clue.
Well, you made a whole website about it. You can check.
Yeah, I don't fucking want to. I don't even remember the link to it.
God damn it. I think I gave it a 6.5, but I just wanted to be sure. But if you don't even remember your own website, then that's fine. I believe I gave it a 6.5. Now here's the thing, right? Here we go. So this movie was technically and in execution of like the visuals and the artistry masterful. But the content bad. Was not engaging in any way. American Psycho 2. Very poorly executed. But
and an unnecessary sequel that no one asked for
but it was kind of fun movie... and entertaining though. I don't know.
Okay, all right, fine. My bad. Go ahead and give me your rating.
And so I gave American Psycho 2 a 6.5. Now, I think these movies are similar in terms of like the flaw to good ratio. But I think this is gonna like the entire. I'm gonna get tomatoes thrown at me for this. I think I get a little bit more out of American Psycho 2.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie. I gave American Psycho 2 a 6.5. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna give this movie an even 6.
All right, I can accept that.
Thank you for the applause that nobody can fucking hear. If I hear one, soundboards are banned. That's a fucking amendment, Kathy. God damn it, she's playing the again.
It is very funny though.
It's not funny because nobody can hear any of it.
You have to admit it's funny.
Right? It's funny to me, but it's not going to be funny when nobody hears the sound effects.
Stop arguing on the podcast. Come on.
You need to stop. You need to let us cook, Mo. I try to have argument. I come to my podcast
arguing. It's
and try to have
arguing.
my arguments, and you always step over it.
I know, but it's not fun arguing. It's yelling and bitching arguing. It's the non-fun kind.
I'll do my rating out of 10. All right, I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
Okay.
All right, my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You honestly actually give it a 6.5?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I think you were going to give it like a 2 or a 3 because like you didn't really have anything good to say about it, like for the most part. Well, I guess you kind of did. So
I like the visuals. I would feel bad giving it anything lower.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I guess my turn. I'm giving this 9.5. And I'll tell you why, because this movie fucking marathon sprinted, so everything else afterwards in this sort of genre of filmmaking could fucking like crawl and sort of like, after dinner jog. We hadn't gotten to sprinting yet, but this movie really pioneered puppeteering in a way that it's really hard to point to anything else in the modern age that can like really hold up, that can be really held up to this standard, even though if you, I guess, contrast and compare the dark sequel, Age of Rebellion or whatever it was called, because that uses a lot more like computer generated graphics, and of course everything is is the budget's up to like $1 bajillion and shit, so of course it's going to look stunning visually. But yeah, I think this movie earned its 9.5, and I'm really happy I got to see this movie when I did. This is one of those movies like we're going to watch Legend at some point in time, because that movie it's not a puppeteering movie, but it's one of Tom Cruise's first movies when he's like fucking early 20s. So it's like it's really cool. Tim Curry plays Satan, and he's after the last the last unicorn. I think that's what it's called. Legend's something else. I believe so. Anyway, yeah. So 9.5.
The only thing I know about The Last Unicorn is that Danny Sexbang adores it, so it's probably pretty good.
Oh, it's a fucking awesome movie. It's my mom, like when she started getting into her like Christian phase, or like her permanent Christian phase. I guess I shouldn't like knock it so hard. She got mad at my dad for like putting this on for us all the time. It's like, it has the devil. Rondi, it's fucking good. I really like it. Tim Curry plays Satan, plays I think Lucifer, but it might be Lucifer or it might be like a major demon, but it's fucking cool.
Why are you practicing Satanism?
I'm not.
You love Satan?
No.
I think you do.
No, I don't really believe that angels and demons and stuff exist. This is a nice, fun concept, but I mean, like, if angels and demons exist, vampire, werewolves, and I'm not saying this in a condescending, edgy Reddit atheist way.
Upvote, Reddit gold.
But I'm just saying, like, this world is so shitty and tarnished. It's just not that interesting. So we lost.
Shitty. It's so
shitty.
The world is so
shitty.
The
world is fucking awful. The world is awful. The magic's been gone, so we don't see that anymore.
I hate the world. I'm a nihilist.
It is
the world
bad.
is
I'm sorry.
objectively fucked. The world is
so
awful.
edgy.
If there's a fucking god out there, he fucking gets his kicks off fucking torture. Because holy shit,
I don't know if it's
fucked.
Well, I don't know if it's. I don't think it's God's fault. It's totally 100% our fault.
But I'm saying if God exists, then where the fuck is he?
I don't.
I've never seen God. We can't guess. My name
People
is
are
Riely.
fucking suffering and dying everywhere. The world has gone to shit.
That is humanity.
Where is he?
That is humanity's fault.
Cocks. I love sucking cock so much.
Not true.
I was doing an impression of you there.
Wow. You hear that stupid voice I'm doing? That's you. That's what you sound like. But folks, our next 2-week cycle, maybe eventually we'll convince Mo Diggity to do this weekly. I bet we can do it. There's so many good movies out there that I know Mo Diggity wants to talk about. And this show, this is a weekly show whether Mo Diggity's on it or not. I think Mo, you should set aside some time in your heart and in your schedule, I guess, would be the more important thing. And
wait, hold on, this is a weekly show?
Yes, our little thing where we take turns picking movies is bi-weekly, but on the off weeks I do other shit with Kathy and Crow Royalty usually.
Oh shit. Oh, okay.
So either way, this is a weekly show.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. I know. But this next cycle, this next round, we set a theme to it. We're gonna do Wes Anderson films. All of our movies are already chosen. I don't remember what Mo Diggity or Kathy chose. I will go back and figure that out before it becomes relevant information. But I know what I picked, and we are looped back around to me.
I'm picking The Life Aquatic.
Is that what you said the first time, though? I feel like I don't want to. You already said. I feel like I don't want to go back on what we already said. So I want to go look.
It might have been Life Aquatic or the other one. We'll look at it later on.
Somebody said the new movie. Somebody said Asteroid City. I don't know if that was you or Kathy.
Probably Kathy.
That was me. I saw that one. It's pretty good.
You said Asteroid City, so Mo said something else. It might have been Life Aquatic. We'll figure it out. But I know what I said, and it was Isle of Dogs. So next time you hear us three, we'll be talking about some good old Isle of Dogs. This is a film that I've always been curious about. I've also been curious about Wes Anderson in general, because I know Jason loves him to death. The only Wes Anderson movie I've seen is The French Dispatch, which I reviewed in the pilot episode of my old movie review show, the Riely Live movie review podcast with Jason. And that was a pretty fun movie. I liked it. And I'm interested to see more of Wes Anderson because I know he's this like crazy talented guy. And Isle of Dogs has always been one that interested me, so that's what I want to do. So that's what we're gonna do. God damn it, Mo Diggity, where can our listeners find you?
Our listeners can find me at MSG Official YT at Twitter.com and Moside Gaming everywhere else on Instagram, on Threads, on fucking Kick, especially on kick.com/Moside Gaming. Haven't been able to stream this week due to fucking bullshit family and sick reasons because I had one of the worst cases of food poisoning fucking ever Tuesday and Wednesday. Not going to elaborate any further, but this whole week and work sucked this week too for me and my boss who I've been working closely with to make work not suck. So this whole entire week can be written the fuck off. So yeah, Moside Gaming on everywhere else. Check me out.
There you go. And you can find me in a link tree. It's in the description. It's also at twitter.com/Riely tweets in the pinned tweets. It's linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe, and you can click there for all your Riely content. Special shout out to Big Guy, Little Guy, which recently made its big return. We got more games on the horizon than ever before. Now that Andrew has a better computer than I do, so we can play better video games if he plays them. And it's gonna be a good time. So go to Big Guy, Little Guy in particular, but go to all of my stuff too. It's not funny because nobody can hear it. Damn it! Thank you. But folks,
hold on. I want to plug something.
I would like to plug Kathy.
I would like to plug the Holy Bible. Really giving me a lot of strength this week.
I'm gonna be real, it's not where I was expecting you to go with that, but insightful.
I would encourage you to pick up a copy and start reading.
I actually have a copy. I've not read it though.
All right.
But folks, thank you all for listening. See you next time.
Bye.